Hello, my name is Younghan Won. I'm a pastor serving 3 congregations, Horton, Whiting, and Netawaka churches. And then I'm sitting with Jon Yingst, Marilyn Banaka, and Greg Scott over there to record the video for us. So today we will talk about church and laity. So because today is Laity Sunday, this Sunday is Laity Sunday. So our focus will be on church and laity today. So have you heard about priesthood of all believers? Yes, it's important concept because in church, not just the pastor, not just clergy work. All the lay people, clergy, no matter who you are, we are the body of Christ. So it is so important to remember that you are a part of Jesus' body. So today I hope you can take time to think about your identity as a Christian and as a church member and as a lay person, and think how you can be helpful or how you can participate in church ministry. In that way, I believe that's your mission most of all, and in that way, God's church can be grown, I believe. Because today is Laity Sunday, I would like to mention about John Wesley. For him, laity was really important. So he encouraged the lay people to preach in the service, not just the pastors, and he was empowering them and equipping them to lead church service or prayer service. Most of all, his mother, Susanna Wesley, she was also leading some prayer gatherings, something like that. Especially her husband, Wesley's father, was also pastor at the time. Sometimes he was away preaching other churches in other towns. In those times, when he was late, Susanna Wesley gathered neighbors and friends at her house, and she led the prayer service, something like that. But these days, it is kind of normal that lay people lead a prayer service or sometimes even preach. But at that time, it was really rare because people thought women cannot preach, women cannot be a pastor, something like that. So at that time, Wesley's mother, Susanna Wesley, lead the prayer service together or even preach and lead a Bible study. It was really, how can I say it, some bold action, brave action. However, she believed that lay people are also people of God and need to do something for church. So, yes, you are important like this. You are lay people, and then you can participate in church ministry. So today I invited Marilyn Banaka, a lay leader from Netawaka Church, and then Jon Yingst, lay leader from Whiting Church. So we will take time to talk about church and community, and then how can we grow as a church. I don't know if one conversation can be perfect. However, this is kind of a journey. So as we get together and then get some wisdom, idea together, I believe we will grow step by step. So this is kind of beginning of our faith journey. So this time I would like to invite Marilyn first to introduce yourself. So some basic, so your name and then anything you would like to share with someone who watched this video.
I'm Marilyn Banaka. I've been a member of this church since 1971. One of our questions asked, when did I become a member of this church? And how did I join this church? I was already a member of the Lancaster United Methodist Church, and so Steve and I were married in the Whiting Methodist Church, but Netawaka was his home church, and so I transferred my membership from Lancaster to here back in 1971, and we've been here ever since. We no longer live in Netawaka, we now live in Whiting, but this is still our home church, so even though we live right behind the Whiting Church,
yes.
So I'm sure people think that's weird that we drive clear to Netawaka, but we do. when I first came here, this church was thriving. There was lots of families and lots of young families. They had grown up in this church and then got married and also kept their families here. And so we had nursery, Sunday school in the kitchen, and then in the big room downstairs there were 3 more classes, and then 6th, 7th, and 8th, or 7th and 8th was in our room over there on Sunday mornings, and the adult Sunday school class met over in these front pews. So we had lots of Sunday school back then, and Bible school was 2 whole weeks long in the morning from 8 to 11 or 11:30, and now we struggle to get 3 days of Bible school together. So anyway.
Okay. Thank you, Marilyn. Thank you for introducing yourself and a little bit about this church. Okay, John, would you introduce yourself?
Okay. My name's Jon Yingst, and I'm the lay leader, member of Whiting United Methodist Church. My wife grew up in the Whiting community. We had met in college at Baker University, and so when we were first married, we lived in Kansas City, and we moved back this way in 1991. And so when we moved back this way, we started looking for a church, and we attended the Whiting Methodist Church, and it seemed like a good fit for us. It was very welcoming. Of course, Cheryl knew a lot of people, kind of knew the community and a lot of the people in the church, and they were very warm and welcoming. And so we decided we would make that our family's home church. So we've been there ever since. I'm one of the young ones. There are people that have been there many, many more years than I have.
Yes.
And like most rural churches, you know, the membership was not elderly, but older, and many have passed away. When we first joined, I taught Sunday school for many years. Upstairs, we generally had 2 classes. I taught middle school, high school, and we had an elementary age group, and even primary age group. And so, you know, our kids attended as well. We did vacation Bible school, always, and with the community support. You know, it was usually a community effort, because by that time it was hard to get enough people to do it just as a church. So Netawaka would pitch in, the Whiting Baptist Church would pitch in, and that was always a good thing. And so now all my kids are grown and kind of have have fled the nest, and so we're back to empty nesters again. But we've been very happy there, and we have no desire or wish to go to another church. We're committed, and you know, the people there have been faithful, very faithful. You know, as members have passed away or families have moved away, you know, there's a very faithful core group that have been very faithful to the church and to the mission, and have stayed and made it viable, and allowed us to exist.
Okay. Yes, thank you, John. Thank you for introducing. So there are 2 goals of this video. First, we would like to introduce each church, Netawaka Church and Whiting Church, and City of Netawaka and City of Whiting. Yes, if you just search on Google or take some book at the library, you will find more information about City of Netawaka, City of Whiting. However, they will share their understanding, their thoughts on each community. So in that way, we will introduce a church and community in that way. And then second goal is to invite you to think about church, invite you to think about what's laity, who's laity, not just definition of dictionary. So you are living, how can I say, living evidence, living thoughts. So we would like to invite you to think about those. That's the second goal. So because we are in Netawaka Church right now,